morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Carl Lund. I'm the park president here at Busch Gardens in Water Country, USA. Thanks for coming today. It's a great time at Busch Gardens, and thank you for taking the time to come and take a first look at Verbolten. You know, this really represents a big investment for our Virginia parks here, and is one of the largest capital investments in our history. And Verbolten incorporates many new features that are unique both to Busch Gardens and our rides across our company. Verbolten includes both multiple magnetic launches, an indoor track experience, and spectacular theming to make this ride unlike any in North America. Our company, SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment, is committed to ensuring that Busch Gardens and Water Country USA are the entertainment leader in the Mid-Atlantic and Northeastern United States. Our leadership in attractions and providing immersive experiences for our guests is critical to ensure our region is successful. As you remember with Christmastown, we have shown that a great vision for product will drive success. In late spring, we will show that Verbolten will launch a store again. Our destination has much to offer, and by working together, we'll all be successful. I'm confident this will not only be a great year for Busch Gardens, but for the entire historic triangle as well. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce the individual who's really played a leading role in creating and building Verbolten, our Vice President of Design and Engineering, Larry Jobs. Larry?
Welcome to Verbolten today. We picked a perfect day for weather. I'm glad you guys all made it out here. We're going to take a little tour through the station, through the Q building. We're going to take you some special places. We're going to talk a lot about the ride today. One thing you're not going to hear a lot about from me, or probably from our PR folks, is a lot of statistics. You know, how high it is or anything like that. Well, that's your typical roller coaster. And that's not what you're going to see today. Your typical roller coaster, we typically, like some of our great rides we have here, Apollo's Chariot and Griffin, we put a big tall lift in, we got a chain lift that pulls you to the top, and then it lets you go. And that first drop is really amazing. On every one of our rides, that first drop is amazing. And I'll have to admit, the second drop is pretty good. And by the time you get to the end of the ride, it starts drifting off, and you're really remembering that first drop. Well, at Verbolten, we got a completely different experience for you, because from the beginning to the end, it's going to be exciting. When you get off the ride, you're not going to be sure which part of the ride was the best part, I guarantee you that. So we're going to take a tour. This is a construction site. You all have your hard hats on, so let's all be extra careful with where we walk and when we step, follow directions. We're going to go and we're going to walk along this pathway here and into our Q station. Today, you just got to be careful about going to the Black Forest. That's real important. So we're going to have a nice leisurely drive. Your vehicle will be pulled right up here into the station. You'll be hopping in. You and 16 of your favorite guests will be getting in together. And you're going to head off on a nice leisurely drive through the countryside. You'll go out the end of the station here, make a left turn, and leisurely head down the hill. When you get to the bottom of the hill, unfortunately, somebody in your group decided to make a right turn. That's going to be very unfortunate, because that's where the Black Forest is. That's where you're also going to hit our first launch. It's a linear synchronous launch, the first one we've ever done here at Busch Gardens. We've got some great coasters, but none of them launch. This one's going to be actually not a single launch, but a multi-launch. We're going to take you, we're going to throw you in the back of your seat, almost at 1G horizontal load, which is like going from 0 to 60 in like 2.5 seconds. It's moving. They're going to shoot you up the hill, and inside you're going to go into the Black Forest. That's this, we have a big green building you'll see here in a minute. That's where we call it the zone. That's where we control all your sights, all the sounds, everything you see and feel. That's where we control it. You're not sure which way is up, which way is down, because you won't know. You'll come in, you'll see some lightning bolts. There'll be all kinds of visual effects. We have sound effects. We have wind effects. And you're going to zip around inside that building, pulling multiple Gs. We've actually designed the track to have some lateral Gs on purpose, just to add to the excitement. And then you're going to get to our centerpiece inside that whole scenic area. We call that the free fall drop. Only one in North America, only one like it really in the world. It's a free fall where we pull the coaster track on, you won't know it, and that thing will just drop right out from under you. Not like anything else we have in the park where you go over the hill. This one, the track is horizontal, and we just free fall drop it. When you get almost collecting your senses, at the bottom of that drop, it's going to roll out, and that's going to get our second launch. Actually, our more powerful of the two launches. We're going to zip you out of that building, up a steep hill, into a bridge, which looks a little bit in disrepair. And that bridge, you're going to dive down to the Rhine River, because it's a broken bridge, right? Dive down the Rhine River, big left turn, big right turn, little hop before we come back to the station. So beginning to end, this ride is thrilling. We don't have just one spot. We've got multiple points all through the ride. Visually, you're going to see things you've never seen before. Physically, you're going to feel things you've never felt before. And a couple of things that we did. Of course, those of you who are very familiar with our park know you're standing in the old Big Bad Wolf queue house. We've remodified this queue house to accommodate our new trains and track. We've also done a couple other things. The final drop is going to look very similar. And similar is not exactly the same as the final drop in the Big Bad Wolf. We've done that for a couple reasons. One was, it was a great drop. Anybody who rode it thought, oh my gosh, that was fun. So we said, well, why would we want to recreate that? Except we did tweak it a little bit. We raised it 10 feet from where it was. Now remember, those of you who were on the Big Bad Wolf, you were actually underneath the track. We're on top of the track. So actually your eye point is actually almost 20 feet taller above the Rhine River than the Big Bad Wolf ever was. The other thing we did is a lot of those areas of the track are actually located within an RPA, Resource Protection Area. In working with our local county, anywhere around this area in part of Virginia, because of the James River, they're trying to prevent siltation. They protect that area to ensure that no siltation ends up in the James River. So they're very particular about what development goes in there, and so are we. So in working with the county folks, we reutilized the old Big Bad Wolf foundations. So we did not have to go in and disturb all that land all over again. So that actually was very environmentally good for us. The county really liked us working with them on that, and they worked with us very well. So that's why you'll see a lot of the same foundations utilized in that area. So from here, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Black Forest. Winter to Black Forest. That entire piece will be encased. So you're going to be passing things that you can see while you're with us. We're going to come down, the track goes down here, loops around into our helix. And I mentioned something earlier today about the way we designed this coaster. Most of your coasters are all designed so you have no lateral teeth. We thought it would be actually more fun when you're inside this building to create some lateral on purpose. The helix is designed for a half-inch lateral teeth, which is similar to a lot of flat rides. And we expect it to be pretty much full from beginning to end. So.
What's the actual open date? Do you have
I think marketing's let me tell you late spring. Yes.
Good job, Larry.
I didn't mess up that.
Which year?
No, we're right on schedule. We've already cycled the trains. The trains have already been around. We still got some fine tuning to do. We're going to still continue to run trains for the remainder of the month. And then we're going to be timing in our show pieces most of April. So we've got a lot of timing to do in there. So we're right on schedule with everything.
How many trains you say would run at one time?
We run 5 trains at one time. Okay. 16 passengers. Now, the passenger train, 16 is actually a fairly short train for us. So we tried to make it more intimate so we didn't have this big long train. So when we have an effect go off, everybody sees it at the same time.
What's the wait time between the trains?
I believe the train interval is 40 seconds. 40 seconds for each train.
Will the headlights on the trains work?
We're working on that. Yeah.
Now, what's the definition of late spring? Is there a more exact date on that, Kevin?
Yeah, late spring.
That means up to June 20th?
I always say June 21st is the start of summer, and they always correct me on that. But they say no.
We're looking forward to a late spring opening.
So where would the main prototype be for this ride? I mean, where did you draw from mostly?
Well, I don't know. I think we've combined a lot. I mean, this is a unique vehicle. This vehicle we're working with Zier out of Germany. It's a completely new vehicle for them. They designed it for us with our input and their engineering, and so it's a completely new vehicle. The free fall drop is a completely new type of unit that's again designed for us. We asked for a certain parameter, and that's what came out. So so everything is there's no real this is the prototype. The whole idea of changing the way a coaster runs is kind of unique too. I mean, like I said earlier, you have a big first drop, and second drop is less because you're running out of energy. Third drop less. We've tried to make the thrill peaks all through the entire ride. So you peak, 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 peak all the way through. So there's not just one spot. There's multiple things, and it's multiple sensory too. So that's one of the exciting things that we think is that we're bringing to this ride.
Now we know some of the elements the coaster does. Can you go into any detail of the theming of some of the effects that are going to go off and happen?
We've got, you can see a lot of what the track does physically. When you come into the building, you're in zero gravity. You're surrounded by the black forest. The idea of the black forest is creeping in on you. Okay, you're going to see lightning bolts going off. You're going to have lots of audio effects, lots of lighting effects that transpire all the way through the ride. You're going to be going through numerous portals where we're actually dropping scenic down that the car just fits through. So you'll be going through different portals all through the ride. That's why I'm saying you won't be able to see that view that we saw today ever again, because that whole area will be full of different types of scenic. And the idea is just to create more of an aura that you're in this black forest and it's dangerous and you're buzzing through it with lots of sensory inputs.
I know with the teaser video released, what other fairy tale creatures can we expect to see on the ride? Will we see any of them from the video? Kind of keeping us in the dark.
Just say yes.
Exactly.
Just say yes.
Yes. Figuratively and literally. We have to hold something for the opening day. We've got to make sure you guys want to come back and see it, right? You know, you might think, oh, I don't know, I've seen everything.